You know the name. You know the home run.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone! In a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened.
One of the reasons we're doing what we're doing now is to give you hope that no matter what it is, we'll be able to provide you with a path to have quality of life.
Welcome back to the BOBcast. Today's episode is a special one because we're joined by not one, but two remarkable individuals whose stories and impact go far beyond what many would think is possible. I'm honored to be joined by Kirk Gibson, a Detroit icon, World Series champion, and MVP, whose toughness and grit defined an era of professional baseball. But beyond what he accomplished on the field, Kirk has taken on a different and very impactful mission following his Parkinson's diagnosis in 2015. A mission that's focused on helping others live well through the Kirk Gibson Center for Parkinson's Wellness in Farmington Hills, Michigan. Steve Annear, CEO of the Kirk Gibson Foundation for Parkinson's and chairman of the Kirk Gibson Center for Parkinson's Wellness. Steve is a motivational speaker and endurance athlete who ran the Detroit Free Press Marathon and climbed Mount Kilimanjaro, both after having a leg amputated when he was young. What brings Kirk and Steve together is their shared commitment to improving the lives of those with Parkinson's disease. Kirk and Steve, thank you for being on the BOBcast.
Great to be here.
Kirk, I got to start with the obligatory question about your MLB career because as a Detroiter, I just watched it with great excitement. Fans have defined what their version of your defining moment in your career has been. What's your personal defining moment in your MLB career?
I think just being available and being there when your teammates needed you. It's the resilience that you have to fight through things that maybe you map things out one way, but the reality doesn't resemble. And moments when some think it's over.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone!
I remember in 1987, we were playing the Blue Jays, and we'd lost 3 days in a row in the last inning. And there was a week to go in the season. We'd lost. We'd been 4.5 back. And we came in after that third game, and it was silent, as you might expect. We were paralyzed. And for some reason, I just said, we just set the biggest bear trap of all time. And we beat them the next day. And they lost all 7 of their games, and we swept them the next weekend in Detroit. Now, it cost us a World Series because Minnesota came in fresh. We were really going against the odds. We didn't have enough that time, but we had the desire, and we didn't quit.
One out, bases empty. The 2-1 pitch to Gibson. There's a belt to left. That's gone. Let's watch it. Where is it? Is it out of the park? Yes. It's out of Tiger Stadium. Kirk Gibson has done it.
When people maybe think that you're done, you never give in. And Sparky Anderson told us, it's never over to that last strike, that last pitch. Don't celebrate because the baseball gods will get you. And they got me plenty, but I got them too.
Just out of curiosity, favorite stadium to play at on the road?
Dodger Stadium was a road site and a home site.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Tiger Stadium was the best. The older parks, Fenway Park with the wall, learning how to play. Here I watched Carl Yastrzemski when I was growing up play that wall, and I got a chance to do that. Those would probably be my favorite. The ones that have the memories when you were young and when you dreamed about maybe playing in that stadium, and then when it becomes a reality, it's something special.
Well, let's switch to your personal journey. And in 2015, you were diagnosed with Parkinson's. Tell us a little bit about what led to that diagnosis.
My first symptom was in 2007. I was shaving with my right hand, and I noticed my left hand would clutch up. Some of the symptoms of Parkinson's progressed over those next couple of years when I was down in Arizona. And they tested me for everything. They missed the Parkinson's diagnosis. My left arm was like glued to my left chest. As that progressed all the way up into 2014, my contract was up and the Diamondbacks did not ask me back. I later found out they were concerned about my health. I moved on and came back here and did Tigers baseball on TV for some time.
You were talking earlier about how Kinsler and J.D. Martinez pound lefties. Miguel Cabrera only hitting 172 so far this year. You wouldn't believe it, would you? But
I froze up on the air. They threw me a piece on the post game, and I was just like shaking inside my body. I just took my stuff off and said, I can't do it. I had been ignoring more and more and more symptoms over those years, 2007 through 2015. A good friend of mine sent me to his doctor, and 2 days later I was diagnosed with Parkinson's. One of the reasons we're doing what we're doing now is to give you hope that no matter what it is, we'll be able to provide you with a path to have quality of life. It's a good culture of people that are dedicated, and they get Steve's message, and he just runs a heck of a ship here. We're fortunate to know that when somebody walks in here, they're going to feel welcome.
Just looking around the center, it has such a warm, inviting feeling to it. Steve, tell us a little bit about the vision for this center and what you've learned since it opened.
The idea of opening the centre began with Kirk's challenge to everybody in the foundation that we just really had to do more to help people with Parkinson's in Michigan. And we started looking around the US as to what kind of care was available, what kind of movement-based programs were available for people with the disease. And the provision of care is quite limited. It's not covered by insurance and there's very little community support. There were a lot of great organisations and great people trying to help with these kind of programs, people that knew that movement mattered and that movement is medicine for people with Parkinson's, and lots of evidence that it slows down the symptoms and onset of the disease. So all of that was the background to us saying, well, we need to do something here in Southeast Michigan. So we studied best practice, came across an organisation in Cleveland called In Motion, who just an exceptional group of people, had been doing something similar for 11 years. They knew what to do and they knew what worked. And luckily for us, they partnered with us in understanding what to do. And that led us to deciding in 2023 that we would open a wellness centre for people with the disease here. The response by the community has just been extraordinary. We just exceeded our expectations by 3 times. 2,000 people almost have registered their interest in coming here. And I think it speaks to the need for these kind of centres, not just here, but everywhere.
Yeah, Steve, I'm going to ask you to talk about Kirk the leader, because something tells me he wouldn't tell us too much about what I believe is really incredible leadership. Because at the end of the day, leading a center like this, forming a center like this, bringing the right team, including his great partnership with you, is about leadership. So what are the attributes that make him a great leader?
I think it started with what Gibby does all the time, and that he challenges to reset the height of the bar, which is what happened in 2022. And he said, we just have to do more. So the foundation was successful, it was growing, but the impact it was having was not enough in terms of Gibby's vision for giving back. One of the characteristics about him that I admire so much is he's being there when he's needed. I never knew Gibby the baseball hero, but the hero that I see every day is the guy that's fronting up here, representing the people that come here, but also the broader Parkinson's community in what is a significant gap in what society and community provides for people living with the disease, and doing everything he can to fill that gap. That relentlessness, the focus, the never giving in, I mean, quitting's just not an option. And the people that surround us in the foundation and in the centre are of that mindset. And some of them are here because they had that anyway. Others are here because they're inspired by Gibby's personal values.
What do you need more of from health systems as partners in the role that you're trying to play for individuals with Parkinson's?
We have to prove that we are credible as a care option, a very important part of the total care provided for people with the disease. It's going to take some time, but we've got a great team here that will be able to demonstrate the value. So all of these benefits that are being derived from the activity-based programs and education support here will form a body of knowledge that we can then take to healthcare systems and start to think about a preventative approach to Parkinson's that moves beyond a medicine-only approach and help people live better lives at lower costs to society.
For people that are really inspired by what they've heard, how can people best support this center?
I think the first thing is, if they know anybody who has the disease, is to tell them about us. We know that the disease can be quite isolating, and it can be spoken about depression. It's so common with people with Parkinson's. So we want to get people out of that isolation and to come here and experience a new way of living a life. We're constantly fundraising, so we're always looking for fundraising ideas, and fundraising help and donations is very important to us. And also to volunteer, both in the foundation and in the centre. So we have about 60 volunteers actively working in the centre now. So they're the three main ways that people can help us.
I've got to go back, Kirk, to your incredible knowledge and experience in the game of baseball. What's your take on the Tigers today, and who are you really watching closely?
The Tigers are excited about Kevin McGonigal. He was rated the number 2 prospect this year, and he's shown that he's that. You got some other young players that are coming up, so the organization is in good shape. Many of the things that we've talked about, they're going to need. Whenever I get a chance, I try and drop something positive, because there's a time when you're doing these things where the doubt's going to want to creep in, and you just can't quit. You just got to go to the end. It'll all shake itself out. It's so much better knowing that you gave everything you got and that you gave your teammates everything you got. And if you can win a World Series like these young Tigers are trying to do, it's indescribable, but it changes your life.
And there it goes!
When you win a World Series, you have a parade, and there's 1 million people there. That's just something I'll never forget.
And this crowd is absolutely uncontained and unrestrained in its enthusiasm for this, what truly has to be one of the most remarkable, one of the most positive days in the recent history of this great city of Detroit.
When we won, we were in Detroit for at least a week or whatever it was. Nobody was trying to argue their point. We were all together, and it was really special. You have the ability to move so many people in a positive way, and we hope that that's what we'll be doing here.
Both of you are giving it all that you got, and it's not just about the center you're opening, but it's about the way you conduct business, the way you support each other, the way you talk about your team, and the way you talk about your members that come here. All of that holistic approach is what I so firmly believe distinguishes good leaders from great leaders. So thank you both for being great leaders, and thank you very much for being on the BOBcast.
Thanks.
Thanks so much, Bob. It's been great to be here.